Hey, my loves, and happy January. I am answering your fitness, nutrition, body questions. We are diving in. You guys wrote in. I'm also going to be adding in more nutrition, fitness advice from me as a trainer of over 20 plus years and helping literally a million people around the globe. I can't wait to help you on your goals so that you're getting it served up straight and real when it comes to health, wellness, nutrition, fitness. I'm going to serve it up real for you. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now. Here's question number one. With all the different diet, meal plans, Mediterranean, high protein, low carb, intermittent fasting, carnivore, etc., how do you find out what is the healthiest and best option for you and your body and your age? Amen. Good question. Because here's the deal. If you are over the age of 40, you need to be thinking about protein. Protein is what builds muscle, and muscle is what makes you lean, and muscle is what makes you anti-aging. Muscle is health. So you want muscle, and you want food that actually feeds muscle. So I really prioritize protein, meaning that I am eating protein in every single meal that I eat, whether that's a breakfast and a snack or a lunch and then a snack and then a dinner. I'm always thinking about protein. So protein can come in many forms. Meat form is obviously an easy one. You could also do like eggs. There's protein, really healthy protein bars. The problem is if you're not going to eat a meat protein, you want to make sure that protein is clean. It doesn't contain seed oils or a lot of chemicals or fillers that just add toxicity to your body. So eat protein. That would be my number one, no matter who you are. Intermittent fasting. Now, that is not going to be for everyone because the hormones can shift and it can feel unstabilizing to some body types. So I don't recommend intermittent fasting. Maybe it works for some people, but for the vast majority, I suggest eating up to 5 times a day, spreading it out between 3 to 4 hour blocks of eating so that your body can actually digest everything that you've eaten and it burns, right? So when I say burns, that means that the metabolism is spiking up. And when you eat smaller meals 4 to 5 times a day, it does speed up the metabolism for most women. For men, it's a little different, but for women, this can be really good for the hormones. It steadies their blood sugar and it revs up the metabolism. Low carb. It's not that carbs are bad. We've been taught that carbs are bad. And if you remove carbs, you're going to see results. It's because most people are eating the wrong carbs, like sugars, breads, pastas. You can eat carbs and you should eat carbs. It's actually great for energy. It's great for fat loss. It's just eating the right kind of carbs. So you want to really shoot for non-gluten, non-wheat and white flour type of carbs or sugars, because anything that has sugar in it is a carb, right? So you want to make sure it's either fruit, like actual fruit. That's good fruit sugar. And that's a good carb. You want like sourdough, like a really good sourdough would be an okay carb, but I would say only do it once a day. Don't eat sourdough 3 times a day. That's not going to be helpful. Your body doesn't need that much sourdough. Sweet potatoes are a great carb. Sometimes raw, slow-cooked oats can be a good carb. They digest a little slower in the body. I don't have a lot of rice. It quite spikes most people's blood sugar, so I don't do a lot of rice. But if I am going to do a rice, I'll throw that in, maybe half a cup with my protein if I'm going to have rice. But I really try to stick with sweet potatoes, a really good sourdough, and that's pretty good. And how can I eat enough to keep my weight in check? So it sounds to me like this question is you don't know how to eat enough. I always say, once again, focus on protein in every meal. So really make a list of proteins that you like. I always suggest meal prepping. If you're having a hard time getting your protein in because it's not ready and it's not available, I meal prep on Sunday and it's usually protein because here, let's be honest, that usually if it's a meat source, it requires cooking. Sometimes we don't have time to wait like 40 minutes for the chicken to cook or, the red meat to cook. So I always suggest prepping your meat at least 4 days in advance so that you have 4 days covered and then do another restock. All right. Number 4, how can someone with a busy schedule and little time for exercise still prioritize their health and stay active? Okay. I have some really good suggestions. And I imagine most of you listening to this are over 40, and it doesn't even matter if you're 30, 35 plus. This is going to be really killer for you. What you can do is prioritize walking. So I want you to think about what activities that you're doing that you're sitting down with. For example, I record podcasts, right? I am sitting down right now recording this podcast, but a lot of my podcasts are done walking out in nature. If you're going to get on a phone call with a girlfriend, your child, somebody, you're talking on the phone. You don't need to sit and talk on the phone. Go put your headphones in, get a good pair of headphones, and go walk while you talk to friends or catch up with people. That is number 1. So another thing I do is my meetings. So like I have a lot of meetings for business. You might have a lot of meetings. If you don't have to look at a graph, take your meetings outside. Go walk outside while you take your meetings. Huge. Just clocking more steps by walking and figuring out how you can do it. So a lot of people that have to be at their computer, they can't just turn off the video on Zoom and walk outside. I suggest getting possibly a walking treadmill. They're really inexpensive. You would put it on a low step, like 1.6, right, miles per hour. Then you can walk and talk and be on your computer at the exact same time. If you're a rider, you check on docs, things like that. Your legs can be moving as you're working. It's not that expensive. I think it was less than $300 for a walking desk. But once again, you got to think about your health. We invest in shoes. We invest in certain foods. We invest in parties. We invest in our handbags and our clothes. And the biggest investment we should be making is in our health. And so before you balk at the cost of a walking treadmill, I would really think about where you're spending money everywhere else. Okay. I find it hard to sleep when it's time. What can I do? Any suggestions, please? Let me be really real with you guys about sleep. There's so many hacks and tricks about sleep, so many things to take, so many things to do. Let's go to the heart of the matter. No one's going to want to hear this, but this is the truth. Ask yourself, if I'm struggling to sleep, am I living a life of my dreams? Am I actually doing a job that I enjoy? Is my day structured with at least one thing fun that I like to do? Do I feel purposeful in my life? If you can't answer yes to those things and you're not enjoying your life, you don't feel purposeful, you feel like you're in a job that you don't like, you're hanging out with people you don't like, life feels dull, you know what? Sleep is going to be hard, because sleep is when you rest from your cares. It's when you get to travel to other dimensions. And when you're up in the sleep and you're not getting good restful sleep, a lot of times it can be your spirit, your soul trying to nudge you and have you really awaken to the fact that you are not living the truth to your life. Another suggestion, ask yourself, am I on my phone a lot right before sleep, at least an hour before sleep? Am I on the TV or my phone or electronics an hour before I sleep? A lot of people are in their beds scrolling, or they're watching TV before they go to sleep. And a lot of people will think, oh, that just helps calm me. That helps me get into a restful state. No, it feels like it is, but internally in your body, it is ramping everything up. So remove the electronics at least an hour, if not 2 hours before going to sleep. And that should significantly help you fall into sleep, because there's all these blue lights coming at you. It's stimulation, anxiety, things like that. And also think about the end of your day. How are you winding down? Are you having anxiety-provoking talks with people? Are you watching anxiety-provoking shows? Are you reading an anxiety-provoking book? Really make sure you're doing things that feel good, like reading scripture or reading a feel-good book or listening to something motivational that gets you in your heart space. All of that's going to help you get into deeper sleep. The other thing I suggest is, if you don't have a regular meditation practice, start doing that. That can be as simple as sitting on a mat and taking a few deep breaths in and out for 10 minutes, just focusing on your breath. As simple as that. Do all that first. And then if that doesn't help, and I would say give it 30 days, staying consistent with those things. And if that doesn't help, then you can take gummies that have a little bit of melatonin in it. You can take magnesium, helps with deeper sleep. You can take a natural herb like We had these rest bites that had valerian in it and different lemon balm and things like that. Those are all really calming for the nervous. Ashwagandha, they all help calm the nervous system to help you get into restful sleep. I need encouragement. This is the question. To get back to the gym. I've had 2 foot surgeries in the last 18 months. I'm nervous to return since I've gained weight, and what will people think when they see me return? Going back tomorrow, but my anxiety is sure there. Most of you feel nervous to go back to the gym or go and enter into a room where you feel like maybe you don't look like yourself or you've just gone through some surgeries. Trust me, I understand. I went through multiple surgeries in 2024. Here's the deal. No one's looking at you. Let me just be really real. Everyone's looking at themselves at the gym. No one's looking at you. No one cares about you. No one cares what you look like. They care about themselves and they're all insecure in their own security. So get to the gym, do your thing. And the other thing I always suggest is don't go hard right out of the gate. Like just because you're like, I got to look better, I got to feel better. So I'm going hard and then you re-injure yourself. With foot surgeries, maybe start with water aerobics, getting in the pool, doing the bike, doing different things, strength training exercises, which don't require, you can sit down and lift weights, heavier weights. Lifting heavy weights does not equate to bulking. Women, hear me say that again. Lifting heavy weights does not equate to bulking. It actually will trim you down. Trim you down. There you go. Next question. I feel I eat pretty clean and I exercise, but I gained weight in less than 1 year. How do I lose it? So when you say this question to me, I feel I eat pretty clean and I exercise, but I gained weight. Bodies are changing. Fluctuations with hormones all affect your weight. Stress levels affect your weight. So really check in. Where are my stress levels? What stress reducing activities could I incorporate? Meditation for sure. And when I say pretty clean of eating, what am I really eating? Have I taken out refined sugars? Have I taken out seed oils? And have I taken out wheat and white flour? Those 3 things, if you do not have seed oils, now a lot of people are like, what are seed oils? Here's some names for some good seed oils that you should avoid, which are in most foods, even foods that are touted as healthy. So check for them because they are so toxic. They're so toxic for the organs that the body produces fat to protect the organs from the seed oils. Just removing seed oils is going to make a huge difference in your body fat layer, your energy, your joint pain, whether you burn in the sun or don't burn in the sun. I mean, there's a whole host of issues with seed oils. Now, a typical seed oil is labeled like palm oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Those are the main, like very toxic seed oils. What you want to shoot for is things made with olive oil, organic coconut oil, sometimes good organic avocado oil. Most restaurants cook with seed oils. You have to ask specifically for them not to. So that's why going out to eat is not your best friend. And if you do have to go out to eat a lot, which I travel quite a bit, so I'm out to eat quite a bit, I'll ask them to not cook my stuff in a seed oil and to use olive oil, to use coconut oil instead. I'll word it like I need it, like, because I do, like, that is so toxic for your body. And then look at all the packaging. So most chips, crackers, granola bars, things like that have seed oils in them. So avoid them. Avoid them like the plague, my friends. And then white sugar, avoid that, and wheat and white flour. And then if you avoid those things and then find all sorts of other substitutes outside of it, you're going to be good to go. You're really going to be good to go. You're going to be noticing a big difference. How do I get rid of lower belly fat in your 40s? Okay, so when you're in your 40s and beyond, like I said, the metabolism changes. You're usually in perimenopause or going into menopause, and the hormones change. And so sometimes for some people, like a fatty layer will start to go around the body. I'm going to get a little in here on this because trust me, I went through perimenopause. I'm in perimenopause and I started noticing it and wanted to reduce the inflammation I was seeing. And that's the key, is reducing inflammation. Walking is huge. Try to get 10 to 12,000. If you can, do 15,000 steps per day. Yeah, you heard me right. Walking reduces stress. Walking reduces cortisol. Walking helps regulate the nervous system, all conducive for fat loss around the midsection. and it really helps balance the hormones. The other thing is really eating non-inflammatory foods. Inflammatory foods, seed oils, like I mentioned, white and wheat flour are very inflammatory, removing those, and white sugar. White sugar, white sugar, white sugar is going to be huge for inflammation in the body and adding to belly fat. So really looking to do those things, and then a good exercise program, some strength training, get some muscle on you. It'll help reduce that inflammation in your body, believe it or not. And then another thing I like to do is ice baths. No one wants to hear that. If you don't have access to a river, which is the best way, I used to just drive down and use the river in the summer. But in the winter, if you don't have like an ice bath, you can makeshift those, Google it, or you can just throw a bag of ice that you buy at the store and throw it in your bathtub, fill it up with cold water and get in and hold it and stay in there for like 2 minutes and do that 3 times, 2 to 3 times a week. That will help with inflammation. That will also help with joint pain, muscle recovery, things that you might be feeling. And because there's a question in here about joint pain, I highly recommend starting to do ice baths in the morning. 2 minutes, hold the ice bath, and then get out and do your other activities. It's going to really help reduce inflammation. What is my favorite and relaxing morning routine, you guys? I just did an episode on January 7th. So go back to January 7th. This is my morning routine. And I share exactly what I do to set myself up for success. I've been doing it for years. This next question is about helpful nutrients and supplements or tips for teenagers who have anxiety. I think this goes for anybody, teenager, adult. Anxiety is rampant right now. I always recommend having a good meditation practice, a breathing practice, like just got to meditate. I know you get like people get even amped up more during meditation. It's like a muscle. You got to train it. You got to get into it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Meditation is not about erasing thought. That's not going to happen. You're a mind-making machine. You're a thought-making machine. So just making sure you're focusing on your breath, you're getting in stillness and quiet. That's all part of meditation. Going for a walk and reducing any conversation with somebody and just noticing the trees, noticing the air, noticing the animals, and staying present to what's in front of you, feeling your foot hit the ground is a form of meditation. Highly, highly recommend doing this every single day. Another great nutrient is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a natural herb. It helps like lower cortisol in the body, helps regulate the nervous system. Turmeric is a really great thing as well. And then really eating a non-inflammatory diet. Once again, we don't recognize how much food plays into our anxiety. Too much coffee, too much sugar, too much wheat and white flour, because wheat and white flour has been linked to ADHD and anxiety. So really reducing those things, I would completely eliminate. Honestly, if I had anxiety, I would completely eliminate. And then never underestimating the effects of exercise. My family kind of deals with high anxiety naturally. It kind of runs in our bloodline, and we run. We go out and walk or run, and that helps us tremendously. You can bike, you can dance, you can work out in the gym, you can walk outside, you can go running, you can bike outside, you can bike inside. All of this is going to help you reduce anxiety when you exercise. Teenagers are sitting in lit-filled classrooms, stress. They feel the stress of the other teenagers. They feel the pressure of life. Exercise is key. Get your kids, get yourself on a really healthy exercise routine. And whatever floats your boat, like if your thing into dance, if your thing's into yoga, if you're into walking, whatever you like is perfect. So another question is about hormone replacement therapy. I am an advocate. There's been a lot of misconceptions around hormone replacement therapy, saying that cause cancers. It's outdated research. So go to a really good doctor, get your blood work taken, start really slow, retest in about 6 months after you start with the hormone replacement therapy. Really regulate this, because you will be amazed at how much better you will feel. Sometimes hormone replacement therapy will help you with muscle recovery, joint pain, heighten your libido if you have low libido, helps with burning body fat. Like I just got on hormone replacement therapy. I'm doing a very, very low dose, and I won't even tell you what I'm doing because yours is going to be different than mine. But I've noticed that my inflammation is down, my body fat's down. It's really helped regulate my hormones. So super glad I did it. So I highly, highly recommend it. So I'm going to end here because I gave you a lot of information right out of the gate. And what I'm going to do is on the next episode, which is dropping this Thursday on 1/23, I'm going to answer a few more of your questions, but I'm going to share exactly how I eat, exactly what I recommend for an exercise program if you're in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s and beyond, that I think will be really, really effective for you. So go ahead and click that follow button right now. You don't want to miss this. I'm going to drop all this information. I believe in you. If you even adopt a couple of these things based off what I just answered into your life, I know you're going to see big results. Everything give 30 days. Don't expect a quick fix. Just stick with it. Stay consistent. You deserve it. You are worthy of it. And I'm here for you. And we're doing this together. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you on the next episode.